ruck early on and getting to the ruck, getting away from the ruck when the defense is very narrow or very not in position is going to be key. So Warriors are doing a great job of that so far.
It's a game of possession like many others. If the opposition doesn't have the ball, they can't really hurt you. Here's another scrum. It looks like Tampare's put in, but the Warrior pack is driving them off the ball. It's extremely difficult to get the ball out when your scrum is backpedaling.
I think there's going to be a re-put into the scrum here because it turned fully on both sides. It wasn't one team that was driving it around. So I think there's going to be a re-put into the scrum for Tampere here. Reset.
Scrums are notoriously interesting places. If the wheel, the rotating of the scrum is deemed by the referee to be equal on both sides and essentially accidental, then it's a restart. If one side seems to intentionally move the scrum in one direction or another, then that's typically a penalty. Ball's out to Tampere. Good pickup by Darwin Ford. Good. Ooh, almost a counter ruck by the Warriors. No scrum for the ball. Center comes up to pitch the ball back. Bit of a random maul. Now the runner's down. Ball's out again for Tampere. They're going left. Ball's out again, coming back the other way for Tampere. No space for them. Oh, there's a penalty.
This is the thing that comes off the ruck that Warriors have been doing all day. They're right in on the ruck, and that was a perfect little jackal there. Jackling is very effective. Once you get your hands on the ball as a defender in the ruck, or before the ruck is actually formed even, you'll get the ball back within like 2 seconds nearly. It's a very effective way to win the ball back.
Yes, a jackal, of course, is the thief who steals the ball from the bad guys. Okay, ball's out. Nice clean line so far. Oh, strong run by Ida. Inside center, gains a quick 10 meters. Here's a whistle again. Yep, we're going to do another kick and try for a line out, hopefully another 20 meters down. Looks like the rain stopped, but that field and that ball is going to be soaking wet.
I actually did a pitch walk before the game. The field itself is not taking too much water, but the grass is a little bit damp. There's not going to be really much like 10-meter slides to get on top of the ball or anything. But yeah, wet ball conditions are going to be tough, especially maybe it will lessen their chances of getting a good set play off a line out. So we expect maybe a line out and maybe a maul usually at this area on a wet day.
Okay, clean takedown. Ball comes to hand. Not quite at the game line. The Warriors maintain possession. Ball out. Drop the ball, but that looks backwards. You know, one of the there was a knock on there as well. One of the things that's strikingly different about the two sides right now is the Warriors are very effective at winning the rucks, and they're very quick to get the ball out. Tampere seems to be struggling a little bit and just simply isn't getting the ball out when they have possession anywhere near as quickly. The faster you can get the ball out, the less time your opposition has to read your attack and to position themselves properly to defend. And I think that's been a big part of the early success for the Warriors, which has been mentioned deep into the Tampere half several times now.
But the one thing we've noticed so far as well from watching Tampere is that they are very composed on defense and they can definitely do damage on a counter-attack. So this game so far, it is very even though Warriors seem very content on defense and attack so far. Tampere can attack at any moment with their counter, so.
Yeah, I'm expecting some very dramatic shifts in momentum at some point in this half. Looks like we're resetting for another scrum. Yeah, these wet days are days that the pack members tend not to like so much because there's just twice as many scrums. The ball, the ball just slips and slides. It's harder to pass cleanly. It's certainly harder to catch. So that means lots of scrums.
This is a day where the forwards are going to shine. They're going to get up from the scrum and instantly we see the backs have dropped it instantly again, so they have to get back down for it. It's good play out, but the ball was a bit loose out wide. So Warriors have been able to push it back from maybe 10 meters away from the game line. And we're just on the edge of the Tampere 22. Tampere are trying to play it out of their own 22. There might be a kick now. Looks like they're setting back a little bit. Yeah, so a lot of what happens in rugby comes with the speed of the rope. Both Tampere are up, both has good coverage at the back there. So yeah, a lot of what happens with plays in rugby and line breaks comes with how fast the ruck was. On the 22, Tampere were obviously trying to be more composed instead of playing it quickly out of the ruck. Oh, there's a knock on from Warriors, so it's going to be advantage Tampere. They still have it on their side. No. We now have a penalty for Tampere for not rolling away, I think. So in this scenario, even though the first advantage was for a scrum, the penalty takes precedence over it as it is a more severe foul. So the more severe the foul takes more importance.
Yeah, Tampere was able to upgrade to a penalty, which gives them a bigger advantage. So there's a nice kick. That's another, see where the touch spot's at. This is another 15, 20 meters again. And of course, Tampere controls the lineup because the ball went straight out.
Obviously, on rainy days, lineouts are a very tough task. So it'll be interesting a lot of the time on rainy days. It's usually played very safe. You don't try anything extravagant. The main problem is the ball is slippy and it's very difficult for the hooker to get the ball in properly off the wet ball. Those good hands there when the ball was lost forward, but kept it in her hands, so we've got an offside advantage, we think. Warriors now have the ball up to halfway or even the 10-meter line.
Okay, so Tampere's turned the ball over. Ball's coming out to the backs. A lot of sideways running there. Good tackle. Tampere has support there. Ball's coming out, going to go right again. Determined running, but not a lot of gain. So that's not quite as bad as obstruction, so it's scrum to goal.
Usually on wet days, it's very tough to get scores, so this is going to be probably a very low-scoring game. But so far, both sides are dealing well with conditions. A lot less knock-ons than you usually get in wet weather. But now, let's see how the scrum goes. Wet weather is actually very difficult for the scrum. Usually there's a lot of slipping, and that's where you get a lot of penalties in the scrum from collapsing and everything. So.
Well, the scrums have all stayed up. There hasn't been a collapse yet, I don't think. Tampere turned that over. That was an excellent scrum for them. Here's a kick. Warriors are covering and counterattacking. Nice run. She needs support, though. Support's coming. Excellent. Not releasing. A lot of penalties from Tampere. A lot of penalties.
It does get a bit tough when you concede as many penalties, because as you can see here, Warriors is going to take a kick and put it into the 22, just on the 22 line, so that's an extra 10 meters made, and every meter is very important, especially on a wet weather day when you're going to be playing pods most of the time. All you need is one pod that can just crash through a defense, so every meter counts here, and giving away the penalty is going to make that a lot tougher for defense.
Yeah, one small gap is all it takes when you're on someone's 22. It doesn't take a lot of time to sprint that 22 meters and get the ball over the line. So it looks like the ball's away. We're taking a second to get organized. Hooker looks like she's ready. And here's the throw. Okay, clean enough. Warriors have the ball. This looks like a maul that's going to go down to a ruck. Here comes the ball. Fresh ball by Tanya. Oh, excellent run. Nice handoff. Oh, that's what we mean about running inside the 22. Here it comes. Oh, that's just bad luck.
Penalty advantage in the last five, so it's probably going to be a quick tap and go here.
Yeah. That was a hands will do. If they could have got the ball out to the wing, it should have been a pretty easy try there. But a wet ball, it's hard to keep it to hand. So here we are on the goal line again. Pick and go. Quick recycle, another pick and go. Oh, that's promising. Yep.
So Tampere did very well to get the ball carrier up and stop the momentum, then drive back.
We are trying to take the ball to hand again. That's it. Hands will do. Hands will do here. Hands will do. Here's your try. Excellent. Warriors around the outside. The Tampere defense kind of clumped up under the posts to defend from the pack and didn't have enough players out wide.
This is why pick and goes are very effective. They narrow the defense down a lot, and they draw maybe 3 defenders in. When you have a forward or a proper or something running at you, it's very hard to take them down one-on-one, so you have to commit multiple people to it. And this was the case that happened here. Tampere were caught very narrow, and WaLi just had to get the ball out wide.
Yeah, there were a couple nice opportunities, very much like this last one, but this was the one that paid off. So that's 5 points for a try, and as many of us know, you have to do the kick from a line straight out from where you touch the ball down in the try zone. This is a tough angle. Plenty of distance, but a little bit wide.
Yeah, it was a good nudge, just didn't get in, didn't curve in. From this angle, especially for a left footer, it's a very difficult kick. So.
Yeah, on international rugby, for the kicks, oftentimes they show you these graphics about how narrow in terms of degrees that the slot for the ball to go into is. It's about 4 degrees. There's very little margin for error with the strike. So both teams are going to regroup for a second, and we'll have a kickoff in just a moment.
Warriors are already set back for the restart. Tampere took the moment. Obviously, have to talk over some things. But yeah, WaLi playing very well right now. They've been on top of the game definitely so far. It's just about seeing it out to half time, maybe getting an extra few points on the board. We're looking at maybe an extra 10 minutes in this half, so if Warriors can hold this out for the next 10 minutes and a half, they'll be in a strong position for the next half.
Here's the kick. Knock on. That's going to be an advantage to Tampere. It'll go to a scrum to them right away. Tough to catch those kicks on the fly when the ball's wet, and certainly tough to scoop them up cleanly after they hit the ground.
And from that kick, obviously when it comes in low and with a little bit of pace, you're already fearing for if you'll be able to catch it or knock it on or anything, and especially in wet weather, it makes it a lot tougher. So you're a lot more safe when it comes to catching the ball, which can make it riskier for you as well.
It's one of the high-pressure moments of the game. You just have to get it right or face the consequences. Big drive by WaLi, but the ball's out cleanly. Tampere backs, sending it wide, full back seam. Nice tackle on the wing. Oh, good offload by Tampere. Looks like, yep, they managed to secure the ball. Oh, there's a knock again. Turnover, Warriors ball. Warriors protect the ball when they're on rock. Ball's coming out. Oh, another knock on. It's just tough with a wet ball.
Yeah, and I think something we can also notice is Warriors are not committing too many players into a defensive ruck, which means they have enough people to shoot up on a blitz defense when Tampere are running forward, and they're forcing Tampere to make mistakes. When the ball carrier gets the ball off, the first receiver usually has 2 or 3 WaLi players right in their face, which makes it difficult to catch.
Okay, ball's out to the backs again for the Lady Warriors. Up. That went backwards, so that's okay. All right. Oh, that is lemonade out of lemons. That was an excellent drive, but unfortunately the wing was driven into touch. We also have a penalty. I think that's a high tackle. So we've seen very good low tackles for the most part today. Referees are very focused to make sure that any players in contact with each other are doing that well below the shoulders, simply to protect everyone's safety. Okay, straight out about 10 meters into the Tampere half.
This is a very good position maybe for Warriors to launch an attack. Obviously, if they can get the ball out wide like they did the last time, then it's very open space here down on the closest side to us. Perhaps maybe a couple of phases in with the pods, and then they can get the ball out wide when they narrow the defense down. But the Tampere backs are lining up. They're matching all the backs on the WaLi side.
Here's the throw, swatted backwards towards WaLi. Clean pickup. Okay, so WaLi's back at about the midfield line. There's about a 4-meter gain. WaLi keeps the ball, serves it out quickly. Oh, now the ball's going wide to the backs. Good take from a tough pass. Yeah, a lot of... This is really surprising. Tampere is a strong team, and they keep committing penalty after penalty. There's been easily a dozen penalties. Maybe close to 20.
Yeah, and the problem with the amount of penalties is once they keep rocking up, this is where we'll start seeing yellow card territory. And this is the last thing that needs to happen at this moment for either team. They're both strong in their structure defensively. Missing out on one player for 10 minutes will definitely kill the momentum that they're running on now.
Yeah, what Tony's alluding to is if there's just too many penalties, then the referee will issue a warning to the captain from the offending team and say, look, if there's another one, I'm sending someone off. So he would then show the yellow card, and someone has to sit out for 10 minutes. And that, of course, puts a team at an extreme disadvantage. So here's the strong Warriors with a strong drive.
This is another penalty for Warriors.
Yeah, it looks like the ref judged that Tampere was not driving straight because he awarded a penalty to the Warriors. So here's a tap and go.
That is the third penalty that Tampere have conceded within a minute. This accumulation is going to come back to haunt them a little bit.
Oh, nice drive. Short game, but powerful drive. Yep. Oh, now that's another penalty, I think, for holding on to the ball. Yeah, where we're standing watching the game, our view is a little bit obstructed, strangely. So it's not always easy to see exactly what's going on that far away from us. It's hard to it's hard to see what he's calling there. His expectation for releasing the ball seems to be pretty quick. It didn't look from here that the WaLi player was under pressure. Usually you get called for holding on the ball when holding on to the ball stops the other team from stealing it when they have a right to. But it's hard to see from here if that's what happened.
It also depends on the intent of the player to release the ball as well. If it doesn't look like the player is making an effort to release, then the referee can ping it a lot quicker. But if they look like they're making an active effort to release, then referees usually give them a little bit of time.
I'm not sure that the ref saw that, but there was a small knock on. As he's saying play on. Tampere still has the ball. Lost it backwards. Lost it backwards again. A lot of sloppy ball. It's hard to handle the ball when it's wet like this. Here's the ball out again one more time. That's called a hospital pass. But a nice run on the end of it. Warriors are turning over the ball again and again. They're really winning the possession game today, thus far.
I have to say, the Warriors pack has definitely been on it today. And their counter-up team, it's just been really good from them. It's definitely been their biggest highlight of the game so far. The strong and the rough for the Warriors has been tremendous.
Oh, I wasn't sure if she kicked that or if she ran it. Uh-oh. Someone's about to get a talking to.
So yeah, this is what we were talking about. Things keep happening. There will be a warning given. And that seems like there was an official warning from the referee.
Yeah, Tampere has a large number of rather experienced players, so the ref's expectation is that if there's a lot of penalties, they might not all be accidents. Oh, big drive from Warriors. Ball's out for Tampere. Lost backwards.
The Warriors scrum, which has such strength advantage, has another penalty given away.
Excellent offload. It's pretty slick, I have to admit. Warriors outside center was being tackled, and with one hand just flipped the ball back to her man.
At a certain point now, the ref's going to have to start thinking about cards. This has been about the 5th penalty given in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're well over 20 at this point. I mean, a penalty every 2 minutes.
So it looks like Julian's going to go for the points here. 3 points for a penalty kick. And honestly, this would be good, an 8-point cushion, which would put it into a 2-score game for Tampere to get back into. So I take this as the wise decision, definitely.
Yeah, I like this choice. She's a strong kicker. That's the side that's a little easier for her. She's right on the 22. The angle's not terribly severe. She's got a very nice chance of making this.
And I think the key thing to this as well is there's no wind.
And it's through.
And there we go, half-time, 8-0 WaLi. Definitely been a strong half from WaLi. The scrum in particular has been really good in the counter-rucking, so this has been a great half from Warriors, and having an 8-point cushion is going to be definitely a confidence boost for them in the second half.
Yeah, I expect they're going to come out strong in the second half as well. Really impressive at how many times they were able to win their own rucks, how little they lost the ball when it was being contested. It's a wet day. The sun's starting to peek out now, finally. But the thing that strikes me the most about the first half is the sheer dominance of the Lady Warriors' ability to maintain possession and continue to keep the ball. Okay, Tony and I are going to take a break. I'm sure everyone in the viewing audience would appreciate that as well. And we'll be back at the end of halftime. halftime was quite interesting to see. The Lady Warriors, I think, are going to come out with quite a bit of confidence, and Tampere is going to be challenged to dig deep and work hard to try and turn this around a little bit.
The key thing to know is there's still 40 minutes left in this game, so anything can happen. The sun's coming out. There was a slight breeze at halftime, but it seems to have died down a little bit, but it will be in favor of Tampere. We'll see how we start. It's the first 5 minutes which will be key to how the second half is going to go. But coming in 8-0, it's not a high-scoring game, as we said earlier it wouldn't be, so it's still all to play for.
So the Warriors are going to look for a smashing hit on this kick and try and maintain their momentum from the beginning. Here's the ball. Oh, not taking the hand, it's the ground. Cleanly taken, however, by Tampere. They won the ball, ball's out.
I think the key thing to realize from that was Warriors have won the ball, but the key thing from that was when the kick was being received, WaLi already had the defenders lined up for an attack. So they've been ready for this attack to start off. And now they have the ball. And they're going to crash it in through the middle a little bit. That's a good 3 meters on the game line there.
Ball's out very quickly again for Warriors. They are maintaining their pace and their momentum. They're turned over the pickle off and now halfway towards the opposing goal line.
I think the important thing that's showing, great step there. But the best thing that's happening in this game, I think, other than the rucks, I think the aggression at which WaLi are running into the lines. If you're running in like a steam train, it's a turnover to Tampere here. But yeah, if you run in like a steam train, like it's very hard to stop you. Tampere has got the ball backwards though, so it's still play on. But the ball's coming out very loose, and they have to kick it out clear. And that looks like a knock on there. It's a little bit messy at the moment, but yeah, advantage Warriors for knock on. So effectively they have a free play here, they can try what they want. If they kick the ball though, they lose the advantage, so they can try a set play here, and if they lose it... Just a little bit too much on it. It was a good idea, but now we'll go back. They can either take a kick or a scrum. Most likely they will take a scrum, seeing as it's on the 22.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen a tactical kick in the Warriors' offense. Frankly, they haven't needed to do it. They've been able to drive the ball pretty consistently in the first half with the wet and sloppy conditions. So everybody's had a bit of a breather. The ground's still wet, but things are drying out a little bit. Let's see who's going to win this push.
And I think when the weather dries out, it's a lot easier to try these riskier things. But we're back for the Warriors scrum. Good put in. The Warriors are holding strong here. There was a big push by Tampere, but Warriors just held it strong. And now the backs can do their magic. We have a knock on. The problem that what happened there was just a little miscommunication on the back pass, and the ball's just knocked on. But the Warriors' scrum is definitely stronger. They came out strong in the second half as well. So Tampere really need to get a good shove in here and maybe get the ball out of their defensive zone, gain some territory with the field.
Yeah, I think Tampere is going to want to run this if they can get the ball out cleanly. The way the Warriors are lining up, a kick wouldn't be a bad idea, but so far these women from Tampere seem to like to keep the ball in hand. Let's see if they change it up a little. Ball's out. Nope, that's a hard run to the weak side. Oh, nice step there. Oh, wow. Excellent breakaway. Oh, there's a knock-on. Wonderful tackle forces a knock-on. That was a fantastic break off of a very risky, high-floating pass from Tampere.
This is the thing we mentioned, that Tampere are dangerous off the breakaway. Earlier on we said that they would break away, and that was a great sign of that. They made a good 25, nearly 30 meters off a breakaway from the scrum, which they've been the the losing side of today, but they held the scrum up well there and they broke away, got a good 30 metres, and only for a great tackle, a great try-saving tackle you could even say. Warriors now have the input to the scrum, but yeah, that was great play from Tampere. More of that, and then they're fully back in this.
Yeah, this could be a very different second half with a little bit of breeze and the sun out. Currently, we have a Tampere player who's down. It seems as if she's hurt her wrist. Just getting some quick treatment here. Hopefully, she'll be able to continue.
But yeah, well, we have a bit of a breather here. We can have a little shout out to our sponsors, Aussie Bar, having their 16th birthday today. Everyone get down. Great third half to be had there. And also, just before you go down to have a few bevies in the Aussie Bar, why not go down to Lazy Fox, have a few pancakes or something? Our other sponsors.
Breakfast anytime, and it is delicious.
Now that the weather conditions are drying up, the sun is out, it's definitely time to start with the more back plays. The ball's going to be getting out wider now, less pod carrying. And this is where now you're going to try and want to make the space come out. So we expect to see a lot more quick passes and getting the ball out wide.
Yeah, it's really an interesting wrinkle in the way the game's working out because the drier conditions would play to some of Tampere's known strengths. The wetter conditions were playing to the Warriors' strengths. So I think the Warriors are going to want to continue to possess the ball and play the game, for the most part, the way they played the first half. Draw in the defense with continued attacks from the pack, continue to win the rucks, continue to dominate there, and then and select opportunities. Once you've drawn in a lot of opponents, then they'll send the ball out to the back line as they have. Drier conditions should mean better handling for the back line and more opportunities for them to create the breakaways. The trick here is going to be possession because, as we've just seen, Tampere can counterattack. They are very dangerous and can create a breakaway really at any time. Okay, time is back on, and we're about to set for the scrum, which is Warriors put in. Just about halfway between the 22 and the halfway line. Warriors are set up to run the ball from here. Okay, lots of interesting passes there. Second phase. A little confusion there in the Warriors' back line, but they managed to play nice and safe, maintain the ball. Here we go again. Excellent drive by the prop forward. She gained 7 yards the hard way. Ball's out again. Another driving pod from the backs. Excellent work by the 8-man. Around on the weak side.
I think the thing we're noticing here as well, when Warriors run with a forward, Tampere are committing about 3 or 4 players to the tackle, and it is narrowing their defense line very much so. Warriors have an overlap on the far side as we speak, but now Tampere are getting back into position.
Yeah, when Tampere has time to stretch out their defense and line up, it's much harder for the Warriors to make ground. So they've just basically been pushed back about 15 meters there through strong defense. So now I think they're going to try and regain that territory with a bunch of crash balls to the pack. They're going to do pod play for a fair bit. Oh, here's a kick. Oh, well placed. It sat up kind of awkwardly. Not easy to take on the fly. There's a quick pass to the outside, and she's in touch.
That was a great cover tackle by the winger. What you notice a lot is the sideline doesn't move at all, and when you start running towards it, all you have to do is just drive them out. It wasn't a big tackle or anything, it was great coverage and pushed them out wide.
Yeah, in trainings and in practice, pretty much everyone says the sideline is an extra defender. So you can give up a little bit of territory if you need to. Just make sure you drive that person out, and then it's a turnover. Line out to your side, which is exactly what the Warriors were able to do. So a little breezy, harder to throw the ball in straight, which is a requirement. Let's see how this goes. Okay, in straight, down clean. That's a maul. Warriors are driving. I think there's an advantage because Tampere might have started contesting the maul too early.
Just the one thing that can't start happening in this half now that the weather is coming in better is the giving away of penalties. But this maul finally has stopped. It made a good 3 meters, and here's the kick forward. Now that the weather is drying up, the field's drying up, and it's a little bit more slick, the ball's going to slide a lot more on the field, so it's going to be a lot harder to judge a bounce or anything. It's already difficult, but with this condition now, it's going to be a lot more difficult to judge a bounce.
So when you have a penalty advantage and you're not sure what the best way to use it is, if there's a lot of defenders near where you are and you're a player that's a good kicker, oftentimes you just kind of knock a kick somewhere in the hopes that one of your players gets it instead of the bad guys, and you can turn something big out of it. It's low percentage, but it's zero risk because if the ball goes to the opposition, you just get the penalty back where you kicked it from. The Warriors were not able to get that ball straight out. Tampere played it, but there's a penalty for obstruction. There was a defending player in front of the person with the ball that prevented a defender from making a tackle. So here we go again. Another penalty.
Also, it looks like Warriors are lining up a substitute to come in now. Yeah, substitute Warriors. And it seems to be in the forwards where the change is happening. When you have a strong game in the scrum like that, it's very difficult to keep a full game going, especially how dominant Warriors have been in the scrum today. It's so tough to keep that going for 80 minutes, so usually you always see the forwards be changed out first. That line out wasn't straight, so it was too far on the Warriors side. All line outs have to be contestable by both sides, and that one was just straight onto the outside of the Warriors player, so Tampere had no fair chance of competition there.
Yeah, generally speaking, you need the ball to stay in between the shoulders of players on each side, and then that's staying in the tunnel close enough, and becomes fair play for either side. Yeah, that one was also not straight. It's a little windier now, and it's tough to throw that ball. Big fat ball. It can get moved around by the wind quite a bit.
Now we have the Warriors put into the scrum. Now with a change in the forward pack, it'll be interesting to see, does this change the Warriors' dynamic at all? The Warriors' scrum has been very strong today. They haven't lost any ground, so to the scrum. Warriors have lost a bit of ground here, and it's very tough as a scrum half to get the ball out of a backwards moving scrum, but that was well done. We've also got someone on the ground from Tampere. Looks like to be holding a calf or a knee. Yeah, shin maybe. Tampere, we're trying to get it there, but it was a good drive forward. It was a good line, but equally met by good defence. Good fast. Oh, here we go. And here we go. This is like a strong run, and two defenders committed to it. It was a bit of an awkward gather there, but now the ball's been dropped. We're probably going to have time off here.
Yeah, that looks like that might take a second. I think we have a pretty rough, possibly ankle turn there. Okay, so Tampere brings on a sub, and we're going to come back to a scrum in just a second here.
These are kind of very good conditions for the rugby now. Sun's out just after wet weather. This is where the good games happen. Still a bit slippery, so there is going to be the odd mistake, but it's also dry enough that magic can happen.
Okay, and we're about to reset. Scrum to Tampere, let's see what happens here.
The last scrum Tampere definitely had an advantage on, so they'll want to keep building on that momentum. It's definitely easy to make ground up scrum, and their last put in they actually made the 30-meter break, so they'll be hoping for something similar right now.
Okay, much better by the Warriors there. They were able to stay down and line up a little better on that scrum.
There was just a little chip over the top. Warriors gathered, but then the Tampere defense came up and stopped the ball from being released. Tampere choose tap and go. It's an interesting decision when we're on our own 22, but also we know how powerful they are on running, so it does make sense for them to do that. Like I said, the Warriors' tackling today has been really great.
Yeah, it's just been spot on. Not a lot of misses. The only times that Tampere's been able to make good yardage was when they just simply had the numbers and there weren't enough defenders at hand. Excellent defense by the Warriors. It's quite all right to give up a few meters here and there to make sure that you stop the opposing player.
The Warriors line has been very well organized, and here's a great jackal penalty for Warriors on the 22. Chances are Julian might look for a post here. Oh no, they're going for a tap and run.
Well, they're in the middle of the field, so it's a little harder to get good yardage for a kick to touch.
Warriors feel very confident with their running abilities right now. So why not take a run? There's a great run into contact. It's a good aggressive run. Tampere have got a good counter up, but still on the announce a penalty. It seems like it was a penalty for coming in on the side of the ruck. You have to come in shoulders straight to the ruck. So coming in on the side of the foul, and here comes Tampere. Good breakaway, good step inside. The pass wildly forward, but referee didn't spot it, so it's playing on.
So here's that big attack we were talking about from Tampere. The Warriors' defense is starting to gain its shape again, to slow things down. Here comes the attack wide. Okay. Good defense. That's a good soft defense. They have to give up a little yardage, but they stop the overload. Oh, unlucky.
Just great defensive pressure from Warriors who forced a mistake. And with attacks like this, you want to get the results very quickly. You don't want to pull it out, because the longer it keeps going, more likely a mistake is to come. The pressure came in there. So now it's the Warriors put into the scrum about maybe 7 meters from their own line.
Yeah, hats off to Tampere for that. For that last possession, there was a couple of really long line breaks, very challenging runs. Warriors did well to continue to come back and defend. And right when that knock-on happened, it looked like there was a gap. It looked like there was an opening for the prop to perhaps get across the line and score. And just bad luck and bad timing with the knock-on.
But this is the thing we mentioned. Now it's drier. They're going to try these things. The running is going to be more effective, but it is still slippy enough that you will still drop the odd ball.
So this is a really important scrum for both teams. The Warriors need to not be on the back foot and find some breathing space.
The Warriors have to kick the ball out there when you're on your own line like that. It's best to get the ball away as quickly as possible. But now Tampere have a very good attacking line out, maybe 10 meters away from the WaLi line.
So the Warriors were able to buy themselves about 8 meters there. The wind has picked up quite a bit and is in the Warriors' face, so that was a tough spot to be in. Oh, stolen. Excellent. Oh, here's a nice run and an amazing pass. Warriors need to maintain this ball. Oh, penalty. Over the ball. Outstanding.
The Warriors' set piece has been very good today. Very strong.
So we're going to get a nice poke, hopefully 15 meters and straight out and touch. And another line out for WaLi. There you go. That'll do very nicely. Out of jail, as they say. Out of jail.
The longer that Warriors can keep it like this, the better. If they can keep Tampere scoreless for this long, it will start to frustrate the other team. So this is definitely playing into the Warriors' favor at the moment.
I think we have about 20 minutes roughly left in the game. So if Tampere is going to do something, they're going to have to do it quick. So the more the Warriors can possess the ball, slow it down, and get back into the Tampere half of the field, the happier they're going to be. Excellent take again. Bad luck with the knock-on, though.
That's what we mentioned earlier about the wet weather. That's still going to happen. So the scrums are still going to need to be strong for the rest of the game, but it's definitely now Tampere's last couple of scrums have been strong. They've gone a lot of distance off this, so if Tampere are going to launch a good attack from here, this is definitely a good advantage for them now.
Warriors need to get that scrum nice and low, get underneath Tampere if they can and really drive. Okay, that was nice and stable. Evenly matched scrum, balls out. Going wide. Not the cleanest passes, but a nice take by number 14. She's got good hands today. And she's fast. Yep. Ball dribbled out into touch, did not go to hand. Warriors line out on the other side. And as you can see by the flag the touch judge is holding up, the wind is ripping.
You can also see the flag of our sponsors, Aussie Bar, getting blown around in there. Definitely go down for a third half, few beers. 16th birthday today.
Yeah, and they have this magic stuff called Lonkaro, which really everyone should try.
So we've seen the last couple of scrums, Tampere have definitely been having a good one. The wind there blew the ball so it wasn't straight. And that's what's going to be a problem now for this half. The ball is not going to go straight. We're going to have a scrum here. It's not, it seems, yeah. Yeah, basically with the wind and everything, it's going to be tough for the lineouts, but definitely the scrum now is in Tampere's favour. They're getting the ball out of the scrum very quickly. It's not getting held in there, and they're able to launch attacks very quickly. They have the ball nearly out wide before the scrum has broken itself off for the defenders to be in place.
Yeah, Tampere has made up quite a bit of ground on the scrums, and they're no longer being blown across the ball. They're either even or a little more to Tampere's advantage at this point in the game. Yeah, given a choice, everybody's going to want to scrum. It's an 8-man pickup, and the ball goes wide. About an 8-meter gain. WaLi defense is set up nicely. Slowly, Tampere's going to get the ball out. Their attack is not rapid. It's much slower. Huge hit by WaLi. So that's 15 meters lost for Tampere. Here's the ball out again. And Tampere is flat in attack. That's bad. Again with the flat attack and also a knock-on.
What we had there was a great blitz defense from WaLi. It was putting pressure onto the ball receiver there, and because they were also flat, they couldn't take the ball with any pace or anything, so the ball was always going to get knocked down.
Yeah, it's really important to be moving forward with as much momentum as you can when you first get your hands on the ball. The defenders will be coming out hard, and whoever's moving faster with the most weight wins that momentum battle. That's physics. So if you're standing flat-footed when you catch the ball and starting to accelerate, you've really kind of already lost at that moment. And the likelihood of you doing anything positive for your side is slim.
The Tampere scrum is definitely very strong. But WaLi do good here. They bring the ball wide. And the ball's gone out into touch. It was just bothered a little bit too wide. As we said, the goal line or the touch line doesn't go anywhere. So the defense are able to use it to their advantage, and that's what happened there. Tampere, I think, have another player down. Well, we have a break in play. If anyone's feeling hungry after the game, why not head down to Lazy Fox? I was there last night. They have very good sandwiches and everything. Good pancakes. Definitely worth a visit. And after you eat, you might want to wash down the food with a few drinks. So why not go down to Aussie Bar 18th birthday, or 16th birthday. Go down, drink, place drive, Lonkaro, order a few blue ones, maybe even a snake bite if you're feeling a bit risky.
Yeah, this evening shows all the signs of an epic drinking affair.
Warriors have been doing good in this half. They're killing down the time, and this is definitely now a game that Tampere have to push forward with. The time is not on their side, but anything can still happen. Warriors have been good on defense, but Tampere have been equally dangerous on the counter-attack, and they can make 30 meters out of nowhere. So this is going to be an interesting last few minutes. When you have a strong defense and a strong attack against each other, it's always good for a spectacle.
Yeah, the tension here for us in the booth is actually really pretty high, because there were a number of occasions where Tampere put together really strong attacks, surprising long runs, and Warriors just managed, just barely, to get a player in place to make a really important tackle with just enough defenders to slow the ball down and force Tampere to kind of change up their attack. So it's so close, and it could turn in either direction at any moment. It's low scoring perhaps, but one of the more exciting matches I've seen since I've been a Finland.
I think something that's definitely coming to the strengths of Tampere in this half is the scrum. They're getting the ball in and out the scrum sub 3 seconds, and that gives the defense no time to prepare. So the quick scrum has definitely been opening gaps for them this half, which they couldn't get in the first half with the wet conditions. Now it's all drier, the ball's moving quicker.
Yeah, the Lady Warriors need to get the front row a little lower, and just get that front row drive and that second row drive lined up just right. If they can do that, they should at least be able to hold, if not push back against some of these scrums. But the momentum in the scrummaging is certainly shifted to Tampere at this point.
It's still an 8-point game. WaLi 8 points, Tampere 0. As we said before the game kicked off, it would be a low-scoring affair, and it has been showing that right now. The injured player is back and ready to play. Looks like a knee was wrapped up or something. But now we're going to get ready for the Tampere input to the line-out. Line-out's been strong, but the gust of wind now can really change how things are going to happen.
Yeah, so with these wind conditions, now's the time when you start looking for the tricky stuff to the... not straight, yeah. So I don't know what, of course, either side has in their playbook, but oftentimes with challenging throw-ins like this, instead of throwing the ball to a jumper, you do something sneaky, like have the first lifter turn around and take the ball directly. You don't have to throw the ball up as high. It doesn't require the wind as much. It doesn't seem like anybody has those kind of plays in their arsenal right now. Otherwise, they'd be using it.
Great line out from Warriors here, and now it looks like they're ready to go out wide. Great line inside. That's a good 2 meters. So now quick ball out of the ruck, but it's an awkward take. Warriors are overloading the left side of the field, but now it seems like they're coming back. Oh, that's a great run. Running with aggression like that will gain your goal 2 meters in a contact even if you have 3 people in front of you. Great pass. Oh, great line. It was just a little grab of the jersey that stopped that momentum there.
That was very close to an exciting line break. And here's another. Oh, switches back in. So nice. Support. Oh, excellent jackal by Tampere. Just perfect body position. Excellent steal. We haven't seen many of those from Tampere. Not through lack of effort, but that one was perfect. Ball slow to come out, though. Tampere is not getting fast ball. That gives the Lady Warriors plenty of time to set up. Okay, well, we're happy to see a little kick like that because that's going to take another few minutes off the clock.
What's tough now here for Tampere is that they have to give the ball away in that position. Now Warriors have the ball just outside the 22, and Tampere need the ball on the other side of the field. Time's not on their side at the moment.
Yeah, we've had a few injury timeouts, unfortunately.
It does hurt. Getting stomped on, it's not a nice feeling at all, but the magic freeze spray, and about 15 minutes maybe left in the game, you'll manage through it.
Yeah, it's really amazing what endorphins and a little bit of adrenaline can do. Okay, so it looks like we're going to kick for touch and try and get a line out nice and close to the Tampere goal line.
It looks like we're just on the 22, or just outside the 22. But when you want to go off a full back play, possibly being in this position is probably more optimal than being closer to the line. Gives you space to hit your runners and gives you space to make some changes in your play if you're closed down or something else arrives.
Tampere does not look like they've lined up properly against WaLi. Need to get this ball out quickly. There's plenty of players, so hands will do. Get it out. That's it. Take it up straight. There you go. Excellent run. WaLi's maintain possession. Quick ball again to the outside. Looks like they're going to stay in. Yep. Another good ruck for WaLi. They are serving the ball so quickly. They win the ruck and get the ball out right away. And that's really the big difference in this game. Two very experienced, very talented teams here. And the Warriors are just getting that ball out fast.
The one thing here now is the Warriors don't need to rush themselves now. Time is on their side, and you can see they're playing like that. They're killing down the game as they can. And they can maybe get another score. It's a good line here. But yeah, Warriors don't need, they are playing like they know that they don't need to worry about speeding up. They're keeping the game under control themselves, and if they get another score, then that's lovely for them. They'll love that. Good ball out. Oh, good switch inside.
Great switch inside, but there were 5 Lady Warriors on 2. Hands will do here if we can get the ball out. Oh, almost. Oh, back in! And that's going to be a try. Amazing.
It's amazing what can happen when you just get a nice little offload on the line there. The Tampere defense they were making the tackles and everything, but when you have to make tackle after tackle after tackle, a gap is going to appear. And just a perfect little offload there led to the try. It's going to be a tough conversion though for a left footer in the corner again. And the wind against you as well, so it's going to be a tough little kick to have.
So that was, they call proper football the beautiful game, but I don't think that compares to the thing that we just saw a second ago. There were a number of times when, with all the pressure and all the defense coming up, the Warrior players were consistently bringing the ball back to their closest supporter who would be paddling. It happened 4 times from the 22 to about the 10-meter line, and then at a certain point there just wasn't enough defenders left from Tampere, and I think the wing was able to squeak through and get over the line and really put the defining try of the game on the board. At 13-0 with this amount of time left, it'll be a big challenge for anyone to come back.
It's not necessarily game over yet though. Anything can still happen. Even off these kickoffs, you watch any game, Ireland versus France last year, straight off the kickoff there's a try in it. And when there's a knock on now, Tampere will have an input to the scrum if they're going to have advantage first, but an input to the scrum is where they're dangerous from. 13 points is 2 converted tries, only ahead for Tampere to get into the lead. But we're going to go back for a Tampere scrum here. Tampere will want to get a score very quickly from this. The longer that WaLi can hold out on defense, the tougher it's going to get for Tampere now. Now we're also going to notice Tampere are probably going to take a lot more tap and goes for their penalties if they do receive, because now taking points is not optimal for them. They need big scores to get back into the lead this game.
Yeah, the situation for Tampere calls for a great deal of urgency. But, one of the striking contrasts in the game is while they're doing strong things with the ball, like an excellent line break here, and a nice offload, and all the way out to the wing. Not a clear pass, lost some ground there.
This is the thing I was mentioning about how quick the ball is coming out of the scrum. They launched a big attack and made 15 meters off getting the ball out of the scrum within 3 seconds. The ball goes in and it's immediately out, and that's been a big benefit to them in the second half. But the WaLi defense is equally up to match it.
Yeah, in contrast, they're not doing that. Tampere's not doing that in the race. It's a little bit slower. Gives WaLi a little more time to read the attack that's coming their way and make sure they get the numbers where they need it. And that has stifled, for the most part, the Tampere attack.
Now, like against slow ball, Warriors just have to remain composed here. The more composure in defense, Tampere are going to, we have a penalty for Tampere. Tampere are either going to top or go for the corner for a high top. They top as expected. A top can be risky, especially when you take it in with pace by yourself. You don't have support. There's an advantage here for Tampere again for offside. So now they have a free play. They can try something here, and they can probably take a tap and go straight away if they take a penalty as well.
Yeah, Tampere is about 12 out. Oh, a no-look pass. That's what happens when you don't look sometimes. Yeah, going back for the penalty advantage. Offsides. It was a good kill for the Warriors, but it's penalty advantage. Oh, and a staggering hit. Tampere gets in. That's a well-earned try for Tampere.
There's only so much a defense can hold out when they're taking it like that. And Warriors have been very strong in defense, and there's just one quick break happen.
Had that been converted, then another converted try could put Tampere in the lead. They still need 2 scores. They need to try and penalty kick to come ahead and win. Yeah, there's not a ton of time. We're thinking there's 8 or so minutes left.
I think the one thing we're showing is WaLi are not panicking in defense at all. They're definitely up for this game. It's good to see. Let's see what this kickoff is going to do. Maybe they'll try and contest this kickoff and try and keep possession themselves.
Well at hand. Oh, good counter up. Again with the tap and go. A little bit slow. Yeah, a little indecision from the scrum half there. It's a penalty advantage for something. I presume it's offsides. Yep. Coming back for the penalty advantage. WaLi expects the tap and go here. Fortunately, the ball was away enough that there's really no use in trying to go quick. Two nice offloads there.
Yeah, it was a very nice line picked out there by the 10 because just a little delayed pass, and here's another penalty advantage coming in over the rope. That's 3 within a minute. WaLi need to keep the penalties down to a minimum at this stage. Great hit.
We need some strong defense here for WaLi. This is real trouble. Oh, nice jackal.
Maybe the ref is going to be thinking about a card soon. There's been a lot of penalties contested in the last few minutes. So.
I think we're going to take a minute for WaLi who took a knock. So it's hard to see what the problem was. It could easily have been offside. It's difficult for us to tell at this angle. The counter ruck looked clean. We didn't see anybody on the ground. I'll be curious to see what the replay might be able to show us later. But obviously a dangerous spot for a penalty. Someone's got to poke in the eye. We need a substitute for WaLi. That's a shot to the nose. Yeah, that's a blood cell for the WaLi hooker, I believe, who has had an excellent game.
Just on this kind of like defense, when you have to put your body on the line, you are going to take a few knocks, and that's just an unfortunate event of taking a head knock in the tackle.
Can't tell if they're at the goal line or not. The ball's back out again. This is where the Packers really want to get across that line. There's no war in sports like this war at the goal line. Driven back just a bit while his defense is holding so far. They've got some large players on the outside to the left, but WaLi's got the numbers, not the size. Oh, there she is. That's a try.
Now, Tampere will fancy their chances to convert this try as well. It's right out in front, just a little bit down to the side. It's definitely very kickable. They might even try and take a quick drop goal. But time's definitely not on the side of Tampere, so they need to be quick. Score now is 13-10, but if this kick goes over, it'll be 13-12, 1 point game.
Yeah, as we said, low scoring initially, but we were pretty sure this was going to be a battle, and certainly proved true. Oh, and that is the famous clanker.
It's the most pain when you get the kick right height, right speed, and it just bangs off the post.
You know she's thinking about hitting that post again. Not this time. It's right through the middle.
It's when you have a kick so close to the goal, it is actually, it's not as easy as it seems, because you can get a charge down, and that probably was the thing that caused the post miss. But when you have no charge, a kick from there, it's 9 times out of 10 going over the bar.
Yeah, the proverbial chip shot.
Now, we've only got a 1 point game here, and we're coming into the end game now, so we'll have to see. For Warriors, they'll want to hold position, but Tampere will want to get the ball up into the 22 as quickly as possible. Great gather by Tampere. Great cover tackle into the line. The line became another defender for WaLi there. Tampere had a dangerous attack, and the Tampere player down her. But it was an awkward landing on top of the ball.
Yeah, I feel like she got the full weight of her body and part of a defender's body on top of her on the ball, right on her back frame. So she's going to be okay, but gasping for air. It's tough to recover from.
But definitely this half, Tampere have shown how dangerous they are on the counter-attack and when they have space to run with the ball. The first half didn't open them chances for it with the wet weather conditions, but when it's dried out, Tampere have definitely had the advantage here. Tampere took the ball straight off the kickoff on their own 10-meter line, and now we find it on a defensive line of 4 Warriors on their own 22.
Okay, so Warriors line out. Tony and I in the booth keep looking at our watches thinking there's not much time left. There's not much time left. But Tampere, there's the number one. That was the line out to the hooker I was hoping for. A nice pick and go for 3-4 meters. Warriors ball, but Tampere is really fighting for it. They need a steal. Ball's out. Another pick and go to Warrior.
It's very clear Warriors are trying to kill time here. They're just taking the ball in. They're letting the time run out. They're waiting for the referee to say it's time. And that's full time. Warriors have gotten a win over Tampere, 13 points to 12. Strong defensive and strong pack performance from Warriors in the first half was enough to keep them ahead, and a good hands out the wide in the second half to get a try in the corner. Tampere definitely came back in the second half when they could play the ball, and they got 12 points and they were just making meters out of nothing. But Warriors held on for a very strong victory, and probably a deserved victory as well.
So just a fantastic game. And unfortunately, we didn't bring this up earlier, but the larger context is the Warriors did not have a great season last year, and Tampere was the champs last year. So Tampere had a strong game today. They came back brilliantly, tons of pressure at the end, and nearly made it. They just ran out of time. The Warriors did well to maintain the ball and score early and hold on against a determined, fierce comeback drive from Tampere. Really an excellent match, and congratulations to both sides for a fantastic game.
And if you think the celebrations when the whistle went at full time will be good, well, let's see the celebrations in Aussie Bar later. Everyone get down for the 16th birthday party. Warriors seem to like they're going to have a great night partying, so it should be a great night for all.
Two teams who just did everything they could to beat each other. Offer that respect individually and as teams. And again, this only happens in rugby. Yeah, I wish we could bring you what the captains are offering to the other teams in terms of talking about the game. But, yeah, well, one of the things they're offering is is cold beverage for everybody. That's another great thing about rugby. So now that the game is over, many of these ladies play together on the national team. Many of them have played with and against each other time and time again. So a quick shake of hands. The battle is left on the pitch, and now we're all rugby players together. And cold beverages, I think, will be in hand shortly. Thanks for following us today.
Yeah, we also have to say, well done to both teams for the game. Very entertaining game. And also thanks to the referees. They don't get much love these days, but they did a great job today. Thanks Tampere for travelling out to Helsinki to give us an interesting game. And then to the audience members as well for coming out on the very weird weather day.
So Patrick and Tony signing off. Final score, home team the Warriors 13, Tampere Rugby Club 12. See you next time.